We're going to go straight to questions this evening as head coach Brian Schmetzer sits down. Reminder, the microphone will come around to those of you in the room. If you have a question, show of hands is always helpful. And then for those on Zoom, please go ahead and hit that raise hand function button, and we'll get to you as quickly as we can. We'll start with Jada Evans, front row.
Thanks. Congratulations on the win, Brian. I wanted to ask about the substitution. It seemed to be very key. So was it a planned substitution to have Alex come off at halftime because he's returning from the concussion, or what was the reasoning behind all of it?
No. The reason why we made a change at halftime is because the team didn't play very well. And there could have been a few players I could have taken. But in the end, because of Paul and his energy and his enthusiasm for the game and what he brings to the team, I felt we were just a little stagnant. So I decided to put Paul on the field. And so that meant, Christian moving back a line. Alex will be fine. I mean, he is coming back from that concussion, and he was a little rusty.
Other questions on this side of the room? Yep, Tim, we'll go over here. I see you.
Hey, Coach. Just with the inclusion of Reed Baker-Whiting on the left, what does him playing in that left back spot change for the guys around him compared to having Nuhu playing back there?
Well, it's a completely different profile, Reed to Nuhu. And so, what does it bring to the group? What does it bring to the team? Depends on the game. Depends on who's in front of Reed or who's in front of Nuhu. It's still a work in progress, I would say, Tim. How does De La Vega going to fit? Where is he going to fit? So Reed, look, the kid had a few nervy moments, but late in the game, end of the game, he made some plays. So that shows growth. So he's fine. And look, we're going to welcome back Nuhu, and, he's going to help us win a bunch of games, and we'll see what happens at the end with the left back position.
Is it Dylan? Yep, we'll go to you next.
How exciting is it just to have Pedro back? I know he's kind of been injury-riddled this season. Just how exciting is it to have him back in your lineup?
Well, he was a little rusty too. But our expectations for Pedro is he builds up his minutes and he builds up his fitness. He's got to learn the league. He's got to, play more with his teammates, not just in training environment. So, obviously you guys see his quality. He's got some, he's got some stuff to his game, and he's going to get better.
Well, Jess, we'll go over here next.
Just wanted to hear your thoughts on Albert's performance tonight and how he's been doing the past few games.
Yeah, very good. I mean, cool, calm, collected on the penalties, same spot. Influential at the start of the second half. It wasn't just Rothrock on this side. I think he and Leo Chu have a good thing going there. Makes that an interesting choice over there on the left-hand side. So he was good. I mean, Albert's playing at a pretty high level.
All right, we'll swing around to this side, starting with Nico Moreno in the front row.
Brian, it seems like these comebacks have become a little bit of a trend or a tendency for the team. It's probably not something that you probably want, but just wanted to get your take on kind of that happening pretty often. And the second question, brief one, we saw Leo Chu come off again, very upset that he was coming off. Just your take on that and how you handled that.
We handled it fine. We hugged it out after the game. Small sample size, 2 games. You've been around long enough to know that this team doesn't quit. We've got quality on this team. When everybody's healthy, there's going to be tough lineup choices. I mean, we're look. If you look at the stats from just a statistical perspective, outside of the emotions of coming back and late in the game and winning 2 games at the death, love that for the fans. We as coaches don't like that so much, but fans love it. Unbeaten in 4 games, 3 points out of 4th. Only 2 losses in the last 14 games. If you want to talk about that stat. I mean, there's Open Cup in there, but 2 losses in 14 games. So there you go.
We'll go to Owen next.
Brian, we've talked a lot about the comebacks, but Steph came up with a couple big saves tonight in that 2 and
Massive.
14. Can you talk a little bit how important he is to that streak and these comebacks and really building a strong reputation down the road?
Well, it's like a broken record. Steph has cemented his legacy here at the club. MLS Cups, Open Cups, he's won every trophy. He still is good enough to make saves the way he did in the first half. But again, he's going to be the first one to tell you it takes everybody. I talked about Reed, little shaky start, but he was good at the end. I mean, Yaimar was a beast. Yaimar was an absolute beast. Christian playing back there again. JP, okay, I took him out, but his work to defend and close things down. The kid, Obed. I mean, there was a lot of help there for Steph, but he's a great goalkeeper.
Nico? Antun?
Hi, Coach. Congratulations on the win. Reed Baker-Whiting got another start. Could you talk about his comeback throughout the season and how his performance tonight has reflected his determination to make the comeback?
Yeah, look, all the players, the question about Leo, they all want to play. I mean, they all want to play. They all work really hard in training. So, Reed has worked to come back from his injury. He's still got a ways to go. But he certainly, again, you guys can see little bits and pieces of what he's going to become when he's, got a few more games under his belt. He's a talented kid, and we're happy to have him.
Okay, other questions over here? Great, we'll come back around to this side. Jada, I saw your follow-up. If there are other follow-ups, that's fine too. Reminder for those on Zoom, if you have a question, please hit that raise hand function button. Jada, go ahead.
Brian, what was it that gave the team trouble, in your opinion? Early thoughts as far as the opening half goes.
Thank you for that question, Jada. I'm not so sure it was the tactical shape, the team that we put out there, but what I thought about when I was watching our team play and what I'm going to reflect on for the next couple of days is that it seems that we get into this, this rhythm, this flow that's not good. So we couldn't, our first 5 possessions, okay, maybe there was the one ball that Reed played over the top to Leo Chu that was good, but we gave up the next 5 or 6 possessions and we just gave the ball away. And then the team is so proud because they hate losing and they love to, try and get back into the game. They press and they press, but we didn't press very well as a group. We, individually, guys were working, but we weren't very good. And so they used all their energy defensively. And then when they got the ball, they were tired. And then they gave the ball away again. And then they had to defend again. And that cycle we have to break. And so that was the message at halftime, along with the substitution and the different tactics. It was just, just our play in general needs to be better in those moments.
Okay, yeah, Tim, back to you.
Coach, just wanted to get your thoughts on Jordan Morris in particular, his fitness and ability to contribute late in games. We've seen him pop up drawing the penalty tonight, his goal the other game. Just thoughts on that.
I mean, he's been great. He loves playing up front. I guess he got the penalty playing out wide, but, his movement in behind, that's his strength. That's his calling card. So when teams want to play a high line or if the ball turns over in possession early in the games, we want to make sure that we utilize his strengths and his God-given talent. And he's playing with a lot of confidence.
All right, we'll go back to Owen here.
You touched on a little bit at the beginning, but I want to ask a little bit more about the difference in Paul's positioning versus other players who play there on the right and how high and wide he is. How does that kind of change the game when you guys insert him as you have in so many games?
Well, against a back line of five, what you want to do is try and pin their wing back so they can't put pressure on our guys that are advancing the ball up the field. In the first half, Leo Chu needed to be a little wider. Christian, Alex, we couldn't extend our possessions to get one of those guys high and wide up the field. So that was one of the tactical adjustments at halftime. I wanted Paul to get way up here high to pin their left wing back, which created a little more space in there for Christian and those guys to maneuver.
Miss anybody? Thanks all.
Thanks, everybody.
A lot of Pedro talk.